Hi, my name is Olivia Mikel, and I'm a recent graduate from Anderson University with a degree and license in music education. I'm excited to share with you what I know, believe, and do regarding my philosophies on education and why I believe I would be a great addition to your educational team. One of the most important aspects of education is understanding and recognizing that students grow and develop at different rates. As an educator, I believe it is my job to identify those stages and adjust my teaching process accordingly to be developmentally appropriate. In preparation for my future music classroom, I have served as a teacher assistant for both kindergarten and first grade, as well as a choral assistant and camp counselor for a fine arts camp that held both middle and high school sessions. My time in the younger classrooms helped me to prepare materials developmentally appropriate for 6 to 7-year-olds and helped me understand the difference of their learning processes in comparison to middle and high school students. Additionally, during my time at Anderson University, I have served as a theory assistant for university students, in which I have worked one-on-one with those students who have arrived at school with maybe little to no music understanding. Another valuable aspect in education is diversity and understanding student experiences and backgrounds. I believe that understanding this concept and adjusting my means of teaching is the best way to make my classroom a safe and positive learning environment. In my choral classroom, I will have the ability to introduce pieces of music from cultures or languages that my students may or may not be familiar with, and in turn get students to participate in the teaching process. For example, when presenting a piece with Spanish lyrics, I can either have a Spanish-speaking student, a parent of a student who speaks Spanish, or the Spanish teacher come to class and guide us on how to pronounce lyrics. By being more understanding and inclusive, I hope to have more of my students engaged and comfortable in my class, as well as have fun. As an educator, I'm aware that I need to assess my students to make sure that they are learning and growing. If a student is not making the expected progress, that is on no way their fault, and it is entirely on me to change my approach for the student or students. During the school year, I have served as a theory assistant for my college, in which I was having to meet with students from all different backgrounds with different previous musical experience and knowledge, and then teaching them basic theory skills. I was constantly having to change the way that I taught the material so that my students could perform better on homework or tests. In addition to assessing my students for growth and understanding, I also realized that I must assess them in multiple ways so that they fully understand the musical concepts that I'm introducing to them. I plan on assessing my students through concerts, performances, music composition activities, musical theory worksheets, part reading quizzes, playing tests, as well as regular written exams, presentations over composers that we are performing in class, self-evaluation of concerts using sample ISMA judge sheets, and other such activities. I believe that it is my job as an educator to plan lessons that draw upon previous content knowledge, as well as knowledge that will apply towards them in the community. When moving into a new school district, I fully intend on maintaining a streamline of communication with the local elementary school's general music teachers to see what they are planning on teaching their current students. And that way, when I have those students coming into my classroom as middle schoolers, I can plan lessons around things that they are already familiar with. I also plan on applying this forward and communicating with the music teachers from high schools in my district to see what they expect from incoming students so I can prepare my students for those expectations. As an educator, I believe it is critical to have a variety of instructional strategies when introducing concepts in my classroom. Both my theory tutor and camp counselor positions have helped me to recognize that I must prepare lessons in multiple ways. A student of mine may memorize lines and spaces on the grand staff when we repeat note name acronyms in class, while another student may memorize these concepts by playing a musical game of Twister with a clef on the ground. While some students may only understand lines and spaces on a staff when I play the corresponding notes on a piano. Another important aspect in education is for the teacher to engage in professional learning to continually adjust their teaching process. For the past 3 years, I have attended Indiana's Music Education Association conference held in Fort Wayne in January. The purpose of this conference is to support and advance music education by providing professional leadership and service opportunities. Sessions I've attended include jazz improvisation for K through 12, ways to perform for those with special needs that may otherwise be uncomfortable in the regular concert setting, or ways to handle the adolescent male's voice change. These professional growth opportunities have and will continue to prepare me to have a safe and successful class environment. I believe it is critical to remember that a classroom environment affects a student's life in so many ways. As an educator, my biggest priority is to create a safe and positive classroom environment that will encourage my students to flourish in musical knowledge and hopefully pursue music in the future. I hope I have demonstrated how passionate I am about music education and my future students, and hope you will consider me for your position. Thank you so much for your time.